Call the meeting to order. Any declarations, conflict of interest from anyone? I need approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Wayne, seconder. Dave, all in favor? Carried. Take notice that an application has been made by Stephen and Rosanna Manili, owner of 7386 Ellerton Road, Township of Warwick, for surplus farm dwelling severance. And further take notice that the Land Division Committee for the Township of Warwick has appointed Friday, January 16th, 2026 at 8:15 a.m. for the purpose of a public hearing into this matter at the Township of Warwick Municipal Office. Anyone may attend the public meeting. The meeting will also be live streamed on the Township YouTube channel. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the Township of Warwick Land Division Committee in respect to the proposed consent, you must make a written request to the address noted below. The committee is hearing more than one application at this meeting. Applications will be heard in order of the meeting agenda. The meeting will begin at 8:15 a.m. for all applications. I'll ask Heather to read the dates and places to notice the public meeting.
Notices were sent by regular mail and posted on the property on December 22nd, 2025.
Thank you. And I'll ask Heather if there's read any letters or submissions supporting or opposing the application.
We didn't receive any submissions for this application.
Thank you. I'll now ask Johan to explain the planner's report.
Through the chair, thank you. Good morning, respected committee members, applicants, and the viewing public. This application is for a surplus farm dwelling severance. There was an associated rezoning to rezone the lands to prepare for the severance. That was approved by council. Next slide, please. So this is the site location, which is 7386 Ellerton Road. The zoning of the lands is A1, that's agricultural with natural heritage zoning overlays. That's the EPH, so the hazard lands, and to the south, there's a bit that's under the hazard lands on that map, a bit of woodlot as well. Now, this zoning was actually updated by the rezoning. So the portion of the property that is proposed to be severed off, that will remain A1, but the rest of the property, the retained agricultural portion, that was rezoned to ND-A, which is no dwelling agricultural. So in the future, because of that rezoning, they can't put a new house on the retained agricultural portion. Now, the property is surrounded by other agricultural properties. Next slide, please. So these are two photos taken of the properties. This was taken before the rezoning. That's why there's no snow. This shows the agricultural cluster, which shows a house, a storage structure. And on the next slide, we have some grain bins. Moving on. So this is the proposed severance. So on the image to the left, you can see what's in pink. This is the portion that's being severed off as part of the surplus farm dwelling severance, and the rest of the land will be the retained. So they'll be retained as a agricultural parcel that was rezoned, as mentioned before, to ND-A, so no dwelling agricultural. Now, with this application, I put the rezoning report as well, but quickly to go over it, there's no concerns. It meets all the criteria generally. The 2.6 acres is not a concern because it needed to be slightly larger for the residential cluster and to have the septic bed within this within the lot that's shown. So if you can see that there's a line of trees towards the back, the septic bed goes almost to that line of trees. So it had to go that back. So quickly we can go over the conditions that's being proposed. So the first 5 conditions of approval, they're general conditions. So the first is that a copy of the deed and reference plan be submitted. The second is a deed stamping fee of $250 be paid. So that usually we get it when they make their application. So we have that on file. That all conditions be fulfilled within 2 years. That applicants enter into an agreement with the Township of Warwick for the apportionment of drainage assessments on the involved properties. And that the road authority confirm that each resulting parcel has an adequate independent site access to the satisfaction of the township. And that any required entrance permits be obtained at the applicant's expense. So since we're severing off, so there is an access for the residential portion, because since we're severing off the retained, if a new access is required, then a permit will be required for that. The next are a few conditions that's more unique to this application. So there is that storage structure that's seen in the middle. It's likely that that was built to an agricultural standard. Because we're moving it to the use of the property to a residential standard, that'll need to meet building code for a residential standard. So a change of use permit is potentially required if that was the case. So please reach out to building services at the county if a change of use permit is required there. This is also discussed at the rezoning as well, that all the grain bins that was shown that will need to be removed. Because anything agricultural will have to go with the retained, and it's not appropriate for a rural residential property. The next is from more conditions from building services. So that the applicant verify that the severed lot contains adequate water supply within its boundaries. It wasn't clear on the maps regarding that. Then the next three is regarding septic, that a septic condition assessment be completed to the satisfaction of Development Services Department, that a septic system permit be obtained, and a new septic system be installed, which includes all required inspections. And it should meet Ontario Building Code, and that the septic system location be included on the survey plotted on the copy by the owner with all applicable setbacks shown, including the mantle, and a copy provided to the Development Services Department. So the recommendation from staff is that that committee of adjustment, sorry for the typo there, that a committee of adjustment approve the proposed severance application with the suggested conditions of approval. Thank you, and I open myself to any questions you may have.
Thank you, Alon. Steve or Roseanne, do you have any comments you want to make, or?
Just a quick question about the septic, like that is a new or newer septic. It was put in with the permit. We have all the documents, I guess.
Through the chair, then the condition's almost done. So
Okay.
just confirmation from Development Building Services. That's all good. That was a condition that they gave, so I put it on there. So it's almost done. That's great.
Thank you. I'll now ask the committee if they have any questions. Nobody in attendance, so I don't need to go through that. As there are no further questions, the committee hereby closes this portion of the meeting. Notice of the decision will be mailed out within 10 days from the date of the committee's decision. The appeal period is 20 days after the date the decision mailed. After that date, if there are no appeals filed, then the application becomes final and the property owner will be sent a notice. Thanks everyone for attending. And I'll ask the committee for a decision. Wayne?
I make a motion that we accept the severance for surplus farm dwelling and approve it.
Seconder?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Thank you. We'll carry on to the next one. Take notice that an application has been made by Van and Allen Limited, owner 6433 Egremont Road, for a surplus farm dwelling severance. And further take notice that the Land Division Committee for the Township of Warwick has appointed Friday, January 16th, 2026 at 8:15 a.m. for the purpose of a public hearing into this matter at the Township of Warwick Municipal Office. Anyone may attend the public meeting. The meeting will also be live streamed on the Township YouTube channel. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the Township of Warwick Land Division Committee in respect to the proposed consent, you must make a written request, the address noted below. I'll now ask Heather to read the dates and places of notice public.
Notices were sent by regular mail and posted on the property on December 22nd, 2025.
Thank you. I'll now ask if there are any letters, submissions supporting or opposing the application.
We didn't receive any submissions for this application.
Thank you. I'll now ask Johan to explain the planner's report.
To the chair, good morning, respected committee members again, applicants and the viewing public. So this is another surplus farm dwelling severance. The rezoning for this, to prepare for the severance was done and approved by council. The site is located at 6433 Egremont Road. The zoning is A1 with some natural heritage overlays. So the EPH, the hazard line around the drain, and the EPWD, so the woodlot towards the back of the property. As mentioned, there was a rezoning that happened. So this map actually gets updated. So the portion that's proposed to be severed, that will remain A1, and the proportion that's being proposed to be the retained agricultural parcel. So that was rezoned to ND-A, so that's no dwelling agricultural, to stop any further residence from being built on the agricultural portion. The lot is surrounded by other agricultural properties as well. Next slide, please. This is a picture of the residential cluster that was taken before the rezoning earlier last year. Next slide, please. So this is a proposed severance. So this, regarding the policies, the associated rezoning report is a part of the materials. A lot of this is discussed there. So generally, it meets all of the planning policy documents. It meets all the intent. There are no concerns that stand out. So I'll go over the conditions really quickly that's being proposed. So the first 5 conditions are general conditions for these kind of severances. So the first condition is a copy of the deed and reference plan be submitted. Second is a deed stamping fee of $250 be paid. So that we accept those when they make their application. So we have that. That all conditions be fulfilled within 2 years of the notice of decision. That the applicants enter into an agreement with the Township of Warwick for the apportionment of drainage assessments on the involved properties. That the road authority confirm that each resulting parcel has an adequate independent site access to the satisfaction of the township, and that any required entrance permits be obtained at the applicant's expense. That the existing old barn storage structure that you can see to the southwest of the property, located on the severed residential lot, be demolished prior to the issuance of the certificate of consent. So this was discussed with the applicant earlier on, and this was mentioned during the rezoning as well. The applicant mentioned that it would be all right that they demolish that. There were some spatial concerns because it gets very close to the lot, so it wouldn't meet Ontario building code, etc. And then there's 2 more conditions. That's from the Lambton County Services Department regarding the septic system. So in this regard, a septic system was installed, but at the time when we received these conditions, there was a final inspection that needed to be done to make sure that everything's all right. So that was put as a condition. And the final condition is that the location of the septic system be clearly plotted by the owner on the survey and submitted to the Lambton County Development Services Department for their approval. So with these conditions, staff recommend that the Committee of Adjustment approve this severance. With that, I end my presentation and I open myself to any comments you may have or questions.
Thank you, Johan. I'm not sure if Jeff or anybody has any comments or questions.
I can talk. It's Jeff Van and Allen. We got that barn all cleaned up and everything, so that's all gone. And a new septic system has been put in and finalized. So.
Okay, thank you. I'll now ask anyone in attendance, which we don't have. I'll now ask the committee members if they have any questions or comments. Seen. As there's no further questions, the committee hereby closes this portion of the meeting. Notice of the decision will be mailed out within 10 days from the date of the committee's decision. The appeal period is 20 days after the date of the decision is mailed. After that date, if there are no appeals filed, then the application becomes final and the property owner will be sent a notice. Thanks everyone for attending. I'll now ask the committee for a decision.
I'll make a motion. We approve the application with the attached conditions.
Seconder? Rob, all in favor? Motion carried. Thank you all for attending.